So the beef between Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall will always kind of be here, and we have more news here as Jon Jones says that Tom Aspinall is a one-trick pony. Tom's a great athlete, but I feel like it's a one-trick pony. So John saying he's a one-trick pony is very interesting. So he's a little bit of a one-trick pony. He doesn't have much up his sleeve. So Tom's saying he's a one-trick pony. He's got incredibly overrated jiu-jitsu. So yeah, like his jiu-jitsu just really isn't up there. Alexander Volkov, by the way. So, John is right there. Tom really just doesn't have the jiu-jitsu. One takedown against Cyril Gane that was, he was nearly eye-poked in, kind of says everything really, doesn't it? Tom just doesn't have it. And he has a beautiful 1-2, which he knocked out Sergey Pavlovich with. He knocked out many other fighters. He knocked out Curtis Blades, two of the best heavyweights in the world. You probably wouldn't have fought either of them, if we're being honest with you. And I learned a lot about his patterns in his last fight. That's really about it. So there's some other stuff I want to go on to here. We do see a reoccurring pattern with Jon Jones. I do agree. There are some things Jon Jones is right. We do see reoccurring patterns in Jon Jones's career. He's right. He's good at seeing reoccurring patterns. Sorry, I didn't mean to get this. I do feel like the beef between these two is always going to be here. But I don't rate this shit from Jon Jones 1%. When you sit behind the screen, you fucking dodge somebody for a year and a half. That's how it was. And let's not forget, he took the Pavlovich fight on a card that Jon Jones pulled out in. Tom Aspinall fought Sergey Pavlovich on a card because Jon Jones pulled out. And Stipe Miocic wouldn't fight anybody else apart from Jon Jones. Listen, Stipe, I don't understand either of it. If you refuse to fight these guys, how are you getting rewarded with a title shot? It blows my fucking mind. But saying Tom is a one-trick pony, listen, the Cyril Gane fight I wouldn't necessarily say it taught us a lot. It literally was just, you expect Tom to go in there and chin someone in the first round. You expect him to run through people like Alexander Volkov. Cyril Gane is an incredibly hard style to figure out. Now Jon Jones figured it out. He went to his weakness. He went to Cyril Gane's weakness, which is grappling, and that's arguably one of Jon Jones' strengths. Jon Jones has got many submissions on his record. And as much as I think Jon Jones is one of the most talented fighters, the most talented I wouldn't say naturally actually, one of the most talented and gifted fighters, we also have to look at this. And this is only one. He has 4 drug tests, 3 for performance-enhancing drugs. One of them was for cocaine, I should say. And look here, he failed with Turinabol. I know the Trent twins take Turinabol. That's all I'm going to say there. And we mustn't forget this. The only cancelled UFC event in history is because of Jon Jones. You cannot, look at, the only cancelled UFC event, Jones versus Sonnen. Chael Sonnen wanted to fight Jon Jones on 8 days' notice. And then Jon Jones was like, no, we're not fighting. I don't want to fight you on short notice. He did the exact same thing to Tom. He wouldn't fight Tom Aspinall. This guy doesn't want the hardest fights. In the division. For Tom versus Gane, it was a very interesting fight. So, obviously, Cyril Gane is a butterfly on his feet. He's very elusive, very smart, very technical, able to pick you on the range, able to pick you on the outside. That's something Tom has never fought before. Jones definitely hadn't fought that before. But if you go back and look at the two fights, who's willing to strike more? Who's actually engaging in the strikes? The millisecond Jon Jones had the opportunity to get the fight to the ground, he went there with Cyril Gane. He did an incredible duck under. Gane threw like a jab and Jones slipped and got him with a beautiful takedown. I will never take away that from Jon Jones. His performance against Cyril Gane was exceptional. But if you really deep it, unless Tom was going to knock him out in the first exchange, there was no winning for Tom. Now, the way it happened was probably the worst way it could have possibly happened for Aspinall with the whole, eye poking there. I can't fucking see. I can't fucking see. Fuck you about me for I can't fucking see. And then Jon Jones, of course, he had the eye patch on his eye. I've said some pretty heinous shit about that before, and I'm not going to say it now. It's good vibes here, but we're just talking UFC. And if you go back and rewatch both of the fights, Tom Aspinall was willing to strike. Tom Aspinall was willing to engage. Tom was the only one out of the two that was willing to go in there and play Cyril Gane in his own game. And he was right there. He was neck and neck. The people spinning back kick, head kick. Do you really think Jones had has an incredibly good spinning back kick, I should say. Exceptional. He knocked out Stipe Miocic with it. It was one of the best. I don't know if you all remember. It was like UFC 4 or something like that. I can't remember, or 3. I can't remember which one. The one with McGregor and Ronda Rousey on the cover. Jones had like the most OP spinning back kick in that game. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. And he just... I can't say Jon Jones is the greatest fighter of all time when you have 3 drugs fail tests. Is Lance Armstrong the greatest cyclist? Is TJ Dillashaw the greatest bantamweight of all time? Obviously, probably not with Merab. But if you say Jones can't be the GOAT, or TJ can't, let's say you say TJ, a lot of people use TJ, or he can't be the GOAT, you fail, EPO. Yes, EPO is an extremely serious drug, but, Turinabol is up there. Turinabol is like a what I believe to be a muscle kind of gainer and a fat burner. So you know what you're doing there. You know you're trying to get in shape by using Turinabol. And I'm pretty sure that shit's not even far off trend. Maybe it is trend. I'm not 100% sure. So for me personally, I can't have that as the GOAT of the sport. And to be honest with you, I don't want that as the GOAT of the sport. But I really don't rate you calling out Alex Pereira. I still believe John is, I genuinely believe that Cyril Gane stylistically is a harder fight for Tom Aspinall than Jon Jones. Call me crazy. I think Jones is ploddy kind of handstance and his slow feet would have got himself in serious trouble. And I think Tom's speed would have been a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. Tom was landing on Gane. Tom was in range on Gane. Tom was landing spinning back kicks. He's landed a head kick. And his strikes were that close. And Tom didn't get even into gear. Tom was only getting into gear with the grappling. He hadn't even turned on the engine, if I'm being honest with you. There was nothing to look at from the one takedown to say that Tom was no chance of getting Gane down. We didn't properly see it. We didn't see him set up or butcher Gane's leg to where the takedown was going to be inevitable. Gane was so worried about the strikes. Maybe he caught him with something. And then Tom goes to the takedowns. We never saw that, unfortunately. And, it's Cyril Gane's fault. Completely Cyril Gane's fault. Completely just eye gouged him, both eyes. Absolutely horrendous. Even looking at it was fucking awful. But the MMA world just, if you haven't gone fucking blind or you haven't lost vision in both your eyes, apparently it just doesn't count. That, you fine and you quit. And Tom, John said that Tom quit. I seen it online and I can't find the piece where it says. But John said that Tom quit. So Tom quit getting absolutely eye gouged, and he went out saying, Curtis Blades, it was a little bit too easy, or something like that. To say Tom quit is just you're a fucking idiot, and you have no idea what you're looking at. He got double eye gouged. How are you saying my man's quit when he got poked in the eye twice, bang like that? Cyril Gane is a dirty cheat. He's a dirty cheat. I still stand by Tom beats John. Just because Tom was exchanging with Cyril Gane on the feet and having an extremely competitive fight does not mean that he would have lost to Jon Jones. The Weasel, of course the Weasel. I used to really like the Weasel, and now he's just... Yeah, I don't really like the Weasel. Has come out and said, at least we got to see how Jones versus Aspinall would have went. You know what I mean? As if this guy's, missing strikes in the Volk versus Makachev fight. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And to say that Tom Aspinall is a one-trick pony, it's ridiculous. I don't stand by it. I don't rate it. And I don't think Jon Jones is right. And I don't think Jon Jones can sit there and play the moral high ground, if I'm being honest with you, when he wouldn't fight Tom. When he's only calling out people like Pereira. When he was actually calling out Jamal Hill. Does anybody remember that? He was sitting there and calling out Jamal Hill over Tom Aspinall. He said Tom Aspinall is not a nice guy. He doesn't want to do business with him. And then all the clips were, hello, John. I have nothing against you personally. I just want to fight you. And, apparently he's just a mean dude. But let me know what you think about all this down below. The road to 1K is on, boys. Like, subscribe, and all that good shit. And thanks for watching.